and Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 6500. 3000. Rotate.
Test, test. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. There's the volume. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Been a couple days since we've been able to go live. It's good to be back live. We're on a Saturday. We don't typically stream on Saturdays, but that's mostly during football season. But now that that's come to an end, it's time to hit it hard. Weekend streaming. Here we go. Flying the FSS727 today. How about that? How about that? Yes, we are loaded up in the Flight Sim Studio 727 for... Wait a second. Nah. I don't know why he's levitating. Kind of ruins the whole thing. Yeah, no, we're not in the FSS. Why can't I run? Oh, I'm crouched. There we go. There she is. A300 Premium over there. I'm sorry, guys. I wish we had the MD-80. I loaded up the MD-80. I was like, okay, I'm going to fly the MD-80 today. I tried the FT Sim sounds. It didn't work. It bricked all my sounds. I had 0 sounds with the MD-80. So then I went back, okay, I'll just fly with default sounds. Loaded up default sounds. I mean, default sounds versus no sounds, there's really not much of a difference. I mean, it is mind-boggling how you can release a product with default sounds. Now, I understand those sounds probably haven't been modified since 1997 when the Leonardo first came out, and it's just been copy and paste ever since. But same with the texturing. Nevertheless, I mean, it's still a pretty highly detailed MD-80, and it flies pretty decently once you tweak your control settings. So I was looking forward to flying it, but I just couldn't bring myself to fly a silent airplane. I just can't do it. Without the FT Sim sound, it's dead to me. Hopefully they get it fixed, or maybe FT Sim can drop something for 2024. But until then, we're going to just hanger it. Matter of fact, I already uninstalled it. So I uninstalled the MD-80. She's dead to me. I tried loading up the SkySim DC9. and I still have version 1.0. I haven't received any updates yet, and I was like, okay, maybe I should try it, and I couldn't, man, I couldn't. The sounds are better than the Leonardo by default for sure. It's close. I feel like the SkySim is much closer to being a good product than the Leonardo is as far as the defaultness of it, because just some sound updates and fix a couple of the outlying game crushing bugs in the DC9, and it looks pretty good. I think the 3D work on the DC9 is better than the Leonardo. The wings look better, the cockpit looks better, even though we have some straight up flat 2D panels. But nevertheless, I Alt F4'd that one, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna fly the 727. And somebody loaded in right there. Oh my gosh, I love that 727. However, the 727 in 2024 right now is not fully compatible. They're working on pushing it. I mean, the only way we'd be able to navigate is with the GPS, and I can't do that. I would just kind of probably vomit in my mouth flying a 727 with a Garmin 750. So we can't navigate with it in 2024 yet. Understandable, it's not fully supported. It's not the same with the Leonardo. I mean, so I say all this stuff, and it's understandable. Nothing is fully supported yet, or advertising that they're fully supported, except the DC9, which is kind of shocking. So I Alt F4 the 727, and that left us with the A300 Premium, because I'm not flying an NG today. I'm not flying an Airbus. I can't do it. I almost flew the 319, but I wanted to fly, well, this is an Airbus, but I wanted to fly something old school. So we're left with the A300 Premium, which, you know what, let's give it another shot. We're going to go from MKJP, which is what, Manly, up to Miami. Should be a nice evening flight up there. I just spent some time in South Florida. Got a fun little commuting story for you guys and gals. I'll tell that when we get up to cruise. Yeah, man, I think he was I think the taxi driver was a Jamaican. But when's the last time y'all been in a legitimate taxi cab? It's been a while for me, and it did not disappoint. So I'll tell that story once we get up to cruise. But here we are, the A300 Premium. I hope it shows out. I hope it works good, because I just want to fly something retro today. You know what? I just want to fly something retro. So I'm looking forward to this flight. I hope you are too. Welcome in AJ Funari's in the house, Nabil, Chris PT6, Tim K, Andy B, Jeff Faviano's in the house. What's up, man? Did you see FT Sim release sounds for DC9? Jeff, I believe I did, and I think it's only for 2020. And unfortunately for me, I'm not motivated to fly 2020, man. I almost went back to 2020 to fly that Avanti. That thing looks really cool. I like the ProLine 21 system in there. That reminds me of the Citation stuff I used to fly. So I really was looking forward to maybe dropping in 2020 for the Avanti, but I couldn't bring myself to buy an airplane, launch 2020. When it comes to 2024, we'll do it. But right now, as far as retros go in 2024, you're pretty much looking at it right here. Samesies can't go back, won't go back. I'll try to rig the sounds for 24. Hey, Jeff, if you can, man, that'd be awesome. Oh, by the way, I saw I know you saw my comment on your, what was it, FSX, like 10 years ago, flying the SkySim DC9. That was a nice landing, man. That was a nice landing you posted. But it sounded better in that video than it does right now in 2024, which is mind-boggling. But good to see you here. Vodka's in the house. George, good to see you, man, and many more. If I missed your name, I apologize. I'm kind of just scatterbrained right now. Thanks for tuning in, being here early. I was sitting here one of those few days where stream was set up early, good to go. I was just kind of sitting here twiddling my thumbs, so I said, let's go ahead and fire up early and get the show on the road. Man, that does look beautiful, though. Come on, you got to tell me, the bare metal. The only thing that's going to be better than this is the Bluebird 757 bare metal American straight wing. Is going to be absolutely juice. Should have flown the Duke. Felix, I really want to fly the Duke. We're going to be flying a lot of Duke. Here's the thing, we might be kicking up. What? I just opened the cowling. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know that was a click spot. Let's go over here. We're going to be flying the Duke maybe tomorrow. We might be launching our America's Tour tomorrow in the Duke Piston. So I will post the schedule and stuff for that after this stream, but I'm thinking we're going to launch it on Super Bowl Sunday, which would be kind of fun to do. So, man, look at this. We got a little engine model here. Check this out. I don't really know much about these engines, where everything is. I don't know what that thing is there. That's pretty cool. Bluebird is going to be 2020 only to start. Is that going to bring me back? Diabetic Lad, unfortunately. Is this the FADEC? I think this might be a FADEC right here. That's really cool. We'll make sure the cowl latches are closed so that it doesn't blow open on us for takeoff. All right, cool. Well, we checked the oil in our A300. We pulled the chocks, we pulled the pitot covers, and we checked the oil in our A300. I think we're ready to go flying. Let's get this show on the road. Aviation Blaze, my man, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Don't worry as my textures load in from the cloud here. V1, I had my flight lesson on Tuesday, and it was so gusty that we barely were able to land our little light sport. I almost chucked all over the place. Aviation Blaze, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate you. I'm glad that you, at least maybe you had fun. It sounds like you had fun. You had fun. I mean, a light sport and gusty winds, that can be exciting in more ways than one. I'm glad you're down safe and you didn't vomit, it sounds like. But hopefully, maybe you do another one, right? Get up there. It's a stuck Fetzer valve, too. Thanks, AJ, for the $3 super chat. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's fire up this A300 Premium. Let's go battery 1, battery 2, battery 3. External powers coming online. Make sure the sounds are juiced up here. We'll go ahead and get our aiders into nav 1, 2, and 3. Seems a little bit loud. I'm going to turn it down for now. My MD-80 over here is in kilograms. Steven, I know you got to change it in the 1998 interface manager. Launch that app first, change it, save it, and then relaunch the sim, and maybe it'll be in pounds. But get to see it, man. All right, up and running. That looks good. We'll do a magic barrel ref while I'm thinking about it. It'll come down to the box, align, IRS, do that. We'll clear these messages out. That looks, clear all those out. There we go. We'll come down here to the ACARS, AOC. No. Pre-flight en route. How did I do this? McDo menu, CPDLC. No. AOC, pre-flight en route, free text. No. Hold on. McDo menu. CPDLC, log on status, ADC reports, requests. No, not CPDLC. Got this weird, like, sound thing going on there. Maybe we have to put in the flight ID. American 357, we'll load that in, and then we'll load up our MKJP to Miami. MKJP to Miami. Who dropped the 10 gifted subs? Mr. Water, my man, appreciate you. I appreciate the 10 gifted memberships, man. Very kind of you. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Mr. Water out there doing water things. If you pick up a membership from Water, make sure you shout him out. Say thank you, our fellow U.S. Navy representative. Thanks, Water. All right, weight and balance update from SimBrief. We're going to apply load to aircraft. That looks good, so that should be set. Navigraph, that goes there. All right, menu on here, FMS menu. Oh, FMS, it's got to be this one. ACARS up here, SimBrief. There we go. I thought I could pull it from that lower McDo. I guess not. A TriStar for Microsoft? Yes, who mentioned the TriStar? I cannot wait for a TriStar. That would be, I'm hoping, let's hope it's at the same level or even greater than their A300. I think the A300 is iniBuilds like first, that was their foot in the door airplane, right? They launched it on X-Plane, then they launched it in Microsoft. We've got the free version, and then you've got the premium version, which this is. And now we're going to be seeing their A350, which is pretty cool. So getting a 350. I haven't watched that video yet. We'll talk about y'all's thoughts. I want to know what you guys think. I haven't seen it yet. I kind of watched a little bit here and there, just some highlights like the takeoff and the landing and stuff. But then they are working on an L1011 TriStar, so I'm really hoping they just keep advancing their situation here. Now, what's interesting is the A300 Premium. When I come back into the cockpit view, you see how the textures fade in? I don't know why that does that. I thought it was on the hard drive. Seems kind of weird. All right, flight plan. We're going to depart. There is no SID, so we'll depart runway 12. We'll just give ourselves a vector departure. Altitude, upper Mike 779 to Zeus into Miami, alternate of Palm Beach. We're coming down the Vice 2. All right, so let's go to Miami Star. We'll plan ILS 9, Vice 2 arrival. Miami Vice, baby. Vice 2 off the Zeus transition. That looks good. We'll insert those. That is wonderful. We'll go to the init page over here. Go to the next page. Zero fuel weight and block fuel. Let's see. Block fuel right now 21.2. We'll throw that on there. Zero fuel weight 3110.6 cross ref. That checks out. Cruise flight level above max. Interesting. It must be pretty heavy. Zero fuel weight CG. We're going to have to pull that from the weight and balance. So we'll take a look over here. Let's go to our weight and balance. Zero fuel weight CG is 28.2. We'll throw that in there. All right, cool. We'll go to takeoff approach. All right, and we'll wait for our V speeds because we're going to calculate those here in just a second. But you know what I didn't do? I don't think I actually hit align. Oh, I did hit align. Okay, we're just in the alignment phase, I guess. Initialization, next page. Yeah, that's all filled out. So takeoff approach. We'll come here. Let's run some numbers then in this takeoff. We're going to be runway 12 dry. Let's sync all the information. Let's do, what are they recommending? 15, that's fine. We'll calculate the numbers. Flex of 63. Are we going to do a rocket ship Toga, or are we going to do a flex? We're going to need to get those. Let's see, what do we have? 296 view and 300 here. Wow, appreciate y'all tuning in early. 70 likes, unacceptable. We need 200 likes, okay? We need 2/3 of the viewers to hit that like button. We get 200 likes, we're going to do a full-blown Toga. So with that said, I'll run the speeds the same for now for the 63 flex, 47, 47, and 50. 147, 147, and then it's going to be a V2 FCU of 150, which is not powered up. I never did the rest of my thing here. We get to get coffee galley power on. Never did the rest of my overhead flow, but let's finish what we're doing. We'll set speed 150, and then we're going to push. No, we're not. How does one select? Pre-select. Push it in. No. Can't pre-select it. Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to spool up 250. I thought I was able to, we were able to use pre-select before. I must be missing something. I'll come back to this. But at the very least, we're going to have 250 knots here, so we speed up and don't roll back to 100. Top altitude. We're going all the way up to, well, we filed 36, but we did get a McDo message saying that that was above. We might burn that fuel off here, so let's take a look at it. 36, max 34, optimum of 31. There must be some winds. I tell you what, let's start out with, let's go to 34 for now. We'll probably burn some fuel by the time we get up there. Runway heading is going to be 120. Give ourselves a vector departure. 120 for the heading. And we're going to put MKJP as a quick and dirty reference right here in the prog page. There we go. That looks good. Takeoff app, 4747 250. Why can't I pre-select you? 150. Push. Ah, must be aligned. Must be aligned. There we go. Beautiful. 150 FCU pre-selected. User air. User air. Okay, finishing the overhead flow. Let's go. No smoking is coming on. Seatbelt sign is coming on. The fueling has been done. We'll go ahead and get the nav light position 1. That looks good. Our fueling is complete. We'll get all 42 fuel pumps on. And we will start the APU. APU master switch is coming on. Emergency exit lights are armed, disarmed, armed. Spool up the APU. Man, what a beautiful, this might be a beautiful sunset flight. Chris Levin, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Preemptive like for Toga. Preemptive like for Toga. My man, appreciate you. Hold on, I got... buddy's texting me. Mad Dog grounded? Yes. Mad Dog is grounded and uninstalled. And it's not, you know, I give the Mad Dog a hard time. I want to be completely transparent. I give the Mad Dog a hard time. Like, I say a lot of things. I'm disappointed in the Mad Dog. But it's because I want it to be good. I want to fly a Mad Dog. I want to fly a very sharply modeled, good sound MD-80. I mean, I really wanted to fly the World Atlantic. I downloaded the World Atlantic livery. So I saw World Atlantic MD-80 in Fort Myers a couple months ago. I was out there with family, and I was like, man, there's an MD-80 departing. So I walked over to the gate, and it was a World Atlantic. They were going Fort Myers to Havana. So I was going to do that flight today. But and the other thing, too, is I don't think we have any, like, other than the default livery, any livery that I've tried to make work in 2024, the shadows get really messed up. So, like, if the sun isn't directly shining on it, the other livery or the other side of the airplane where the shadow would be is just completely black. So there's something going on with the liveries as well. So you know, it is what it is. I don't think it's backwards thrust set because this says 150 here in the FCU, and this says 250 up here with preset arm. So I don't think it's backwards. It might be. Either way, we're going to rock and roll with it the way it is. All right, so that is up and running. APU, Magic Barrel Ref. We're going to be heading select off the ground. Profile climb, heading select. We'll go DH -5. That looks good. Let's go plan mode here. Zoom it out. So we're going to give ourselves, like I said, a vector. We'll step through Altib. There's our flight plan up to Miami Vice. That all looks good. I think we're just about ready to push and start, y'all. We'll go ahead and disconnect from ground power. We'll go ahead and get this on. We'll get the window heaters on. We'll get the APU bleed on. So we are completely on airplane power. Now we got some air in the cabin. That looks good. And let's put you back on map view. Scroll you down. Constraints are on. Let's go over to Navigraph and the CTAF. Is there CTAF in Jamaica? 21.7? Dot CTAF is 1865. All right. 1865. $1865, Squawk no auto ATC, which is peculiar. Squawk 2000 on TARA. Can I get a radio check? 1865. It's a little bit louder. Let me turn the sounds down in the airplane here. Give me a second. There we go. Let's do it like that. That should be a little bit better audio volume. All right. Are you ready to go? Wasn't Just Flight making a 747? They were. They're no longer doing it, but I can't wait. I think Flight Navy mentioned it. I can't wait for their A300. All right. Let's close the door. Look at that 7.2 pushing back. Oh, that's beautiful. Are we in Kingston? Yeah, we're in Kingston, right? Because Montego Bay is on the north side. This is Kingston. Kingston traffic, American 357, getting ready to push back off gate 22. We'll be departing runway 12 in Kingston. Holy graphics, what? What's wrong with the graphics, Bill? This is default airport, by the way. Just Flight sold their 747, but PMDG is still making a classic 74. It should come out sometime within the next 8 to 10 business years. Yeah, I know. It's going to be a while. The Fokker 100 next to you, the Fokker 100, and I'm really missing my F-28s. We're going to hold the push until that 7.2 taxis out. So we'll wait for the 7.2. I really miss flying the F-28s, and so I'm hoping they can get that update dropped soon to 2024. I know they're not sleeping over there. I know they're working hard. Matter of fact, I think I got an email from Just Flight on my last trip. I got a double check what it says. I hope they don't take offense when I don't respond to emails, because I really like the Just Flight guys. They are honestly, Just Flight has produced the aircraft that I love to fly the most in the sim. Like, I love their retro line. I like how, I mean, I know they didn't do the Black Square stuff, but they're like the publisher for Black Square. I love the whole Black Square thing. I love the F-28, the 146s, kind of these niche, hand-flying, demanding airplanes. I love it. I love the kind of airplanes
traffic,
they design.
1504, texting via Alpha runway 12, thanks and waiting.
F-100 is going to be awesome. Doing some American ops, the F-100. Oh, West Air. You know what? That's something I haven't heard of in a long time, is the Just Flight Super 80. Yeah. All right, so he is taxiing out. Let's go ahead and arm all doors. Make sure I know how to do it. All doors are armed. And cockpit to ground. Cockpit to ground. You ready for brake release? I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Yeah. Okay. Brakes release. I don't know if the brakes have to be released for the tug to connect or not. So brakes release, clear to push. Throttle cams are up. We're using the Throttletek 767 big boy today for the A300. We can also run a quick little checklist here. If I can find it. It's my flight checklist. 4-start cockpit prep, fuel quantity, takeoff data set, landing elevation is not set. I'll get that. Altimeters, brake, anti-skid norm, windows, doors closed. Beacon is not on. Parking brake is released. All right, beacon is coming on. Landing field elevation is set. 4-start checklist is complete. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that 7.2 taxing out, A300 right here. I love it. Their P-28R. Oh, yeah, Fred. You're talking about the Arrow, the Piper, the P-28, PA-28? I love the PA-28, man. I flew that on 2020. I love that one. That was a great little bird, too. That should be good enough. I'll go ahead and... Is it going to stop automatically? Oh, look, it's going to stop automatically. Cool. All right.
Traffic, American 1400, pushing back, stand 3.
Looked like you started pushing before you said you were pushing back. All right, brake set, clear, disconnect, cockpit ground. We're going to start number 1. Go to cockpit, copy that. You're clear to start engine 1. Have a good flight, Captain. Tug pin off the left, right here. All right, here we go. Starting engine 1. So we're going to go to crank, start alpha. Let's see. Today is even, so let's start Bravo. Number 1. Sim sounds are coming up. Let's see how this sounds. All right, here we go. Here we go. Ready? Starting 1. I like that light-off sound. American Aviation, what's up, man? Welcome. You're new here? Well, glad to have you, man. Welcome in, dude. Welcome into the chaos. All right, we got a good start on number 1. Let's go ahead and crank 2. Start valve open. We'll watch the gauges on this one because I love these old school gauges. I love these gauges here. They did a really good job on those. There's one about iniBuilds, but I like these modeling they did on these. They look very 3D. Do I still use a Cat 3? Oh, yeah, absolutely, PDAR. Matter of fact, the only reason I don't have it on right now is because I'm using a different... I don't know which tiller... Oh, I'm not using it with the A300 because the A300 tiller axis doesn't work. It's a iniBuilds bug with Microsoft right now. So you have to use the rudders, I believe. Catco, what's going on, man? Good to see you, dude. On the 310, we're using a B at home base and A went away. One was ME eligible, not the other. Oh, really? Spoilers up. Very cool. I did not know that. B at home base and A went away. Very interesting. Spoilers up. I like learning little things like that. All right, 2 good starts. Ignition's coming off. Is that 727 rolling yet? Hold on, I want to see that 72. Kind of slims down a little bit. Down more. We're doing a 15-15, so that's going to be 2 clicks down. Here we go. Flight control check. Flaps 15-15 indicating, let's go auto brake max. Takeoff config. I guess it's normal, it's not yelling at me, right? Takeoff config checked. Trim, oh yeah. What are we supposed to set the trim at? I'm actually not sure what we're supposed to set the trim at. THS 00, supposed to be 00. Alright, 00, spoilers arm, let's go. Kingston traffic, American 357, taxi 12. Taxi lights coming on. Brakes are released. Let's go. Let's see, do I have a tiller bound? I have the tiller bound. Let's see if I can turn. Oh, it's working. Okay, the tiller is working. I am using my Cat 3 design tiller. I don't know why the camera's not on.
Traffic American 1400, taxiing Alpha for runway 12.
Oh, look at that 7-2. Oh, that looked like a tail strike there. A little premature rotation on that 7-2. What are you doing, a VMU test? Damn. Gosh, that 7-2 though, come on. The 7.2 and the when we finally get the FSS 7.2 passenger and we get a Bluebird 757, I think we're just going to fly those 2 around the world. That'll be the second America's tour. We're going to do the America's tour in the Dukes, and hopefully by the end of that, we'll have one or the other. Dougal McTavish, happy Saturday to you, my friend. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon, evening out there in Europe, Euroland. Welcome on board. Full flap, what are we thinking on the flaps? I got to rebind that view. I don't like that view. It's too far aft. What are we thinking about flaps there, full flap? I think those look pretty dang good. Lego flaps still. Where do you see Lego flaps? You got to keep in mind, this is somebody who still loves his X-Plane. Which is no shot to X-Plane, but come on, Lego flaps. How are those Lego flaps? The only discrepancy that I think I see, and we talked about it, is the thickness of this right here. Is this too thick? This should be thin, right? I think that's what you were on about last time. I don't think they're bad though. Man, if that's what we're nitpicking, I just hope I don't have a WASM crash. Full flap and X-Plane are not friends at the moment. I know it. Oh, thrust set, my radio is overheating. I know, dude, look at this. I don't know, is this supposed to be like the condensed air from the windshield coming over that? I noticed this earlier. I don't know what this is. Is this because it's humid outside? If that is why, then that's actually pretty cool. If that's not why, then I have no idea why we've got smoke in the cockpit here. Gonna have to pull out our O2 mask. Where's our O2 mask? Verify. Did we check that? Where is it? I can't. There we go. Yep, we got oxygen. Shh. All right, good. Chris Levin, check bags filled with herbs from Jamaica. Oh yeah, actually no, we're filled with the what's the Jamaican? Got a really good Jamaican barbecue sauce, jerk chicken sauce. I bought it when I was on my honeymoon down there. I don't know if it's reflections. So this, if you've ever been in an Airbus 7.3, it doesn't really happen because the 7.3 can't, cool the airplane to save its life. But on the Airbus, when you're in humid climates like this, the air conditioning is so good from the packs that you'll see the air is actually being cooled to the dew point and it almost looks like there's smoke in the cabin. I've had it where it's so thick I can't see past the cockpit door because there's so much humidity from the air conditioning. So I think that is what is trying to be simulated here, which is pretty cool. But in real life, it would actually be blowing out through the side here too. I don't know if the A300 has a lot coming up over the glare shield like this. I know the 320 series it doesn't. It'd be blowing in from the side vents and everything like that. Kingston traffic, American 357 Heavy going to depart runway 12, Kingston. Wow, look at this. This is why, I mean, look at that. The sun rays, this just looks so beautiful. That's why I can't find myself back in 2020. Q Team Vodka, it's the same picture.
Kingston traffic, American 1400. We're going to be lining up behind the departing company A300.
You can't line up and wait when there's no controller on. Be easy on the rudder on takeoff. Yeah, I know it's a little extra sensitive. I think that's air conditioning smoke. Or I guess what would we call it? Just humidity? It's crazy. I've never seen that model before. Like, shout out to I for that, because that's actually pretty cool. I mean, look at that. That's pretty cool. I don't know what it is. Now it's stopped. Maybe it's reflections. Who knows? Who's ready to get out of here? Did we hit our goal? Please tell me we hit 200 likes so we can go Toga. I think that was reflection bug. I think it was a reflection bug. You're absolutely right. I'm over here thinking it's some highly advanced humidity thing. All right. We hit 200 likes? Man, we did. Okay, so flex takeoff. That's super mid. Super mid. All right, spool them up 50. Screw it. We're not flexing. Let's see if we can get out of here. Auto thrust. Yeah, it'll arm here in a second when I hit it, right? Thrust SRS heading select. I don't think those are reflections. I don't think those are reflections, guys. I think that actually is humidity. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never seen that before. Thrust set. Oh my gosh. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flyway. Congrats on the runway markers. Okay, so then... Oh, I see what it is. Oh my gosh, look at the pitch. We gotta keep going up here. There's climb thrust.
Kingston traffic, American 1400, departing runway 13.
Let's go ahead and heading select. Kingston traffic, American 357 out of 2400, heading 090 out to the north, last call, Kingston. Alright, let's go back to 22.8. You're right, it is, it's reflection bug. 180 on that, or I'll make it 090. 090, heading, S-speed. Let's go ahead and clean it up. Train work? Alright, after takeoff, gear is up and off. Spoilers disarmed. 090 will get the DHs off. 340, profile climb. Profile thrust, profile climb, heading. We're going to stay on this heading, then we're going to, as soon as we get past this terrain, we'll make a left turn out here. I think I thought terrain used to work too. I'm gonna have to adjust this view. Let's go ahead and bind a new view here. I should have the autopilot on. That's all right. I'm gonna bind a trailing edge view here. Hopefully I trimmed it out good, because all right, that's more juice right there. Save that view. Look at that, trimmed out pretty good. That's the benefit of force feedback right there. A little bit further and we'll make a left turn. Pisagor, this is officially supported in 24. This is the only, this is the A300 Premium. So it's only for 2024. 060 heading select. Let's go. The sim looking so good makes the airplane model look worse. Man, full flap came with a loaded mag today. Jeez. How's that X-plane working out for you, full flap? Look at the wing flex though. The wing flex is way better on this in this version. Look at, you can see the wing subtle flexing out there. I know, Vodka, he's on fire, man. He needs to go back and play some Ron. Get some anger out. Jeremy, what's up, man? Good to see you. What happened to the Mad Dog? It's dead to me, man. I just couldn't get it to... I can't get it... Let me say this. I don't enjoy flying it in the current state that it's in. And I understand that it's not fully supported. It's beta only for 2024. So I'm not just sitting here trying to not, dog on Leonardo, because I've dogged on Leonardo plenty. We're gonna go direct to Altib, so let's go direct. But it's just not where I'm having fun with it, Jeremy. The sounds are not up to snuff. And honestly, if my FT Sim sound pack worked for it, Jeremy, I would have flown it. But I couldn't get the FT Sim sounds to work, so I just canned the whole thing. Okay, now terrain's working. That's interesting. Maybe I was zoomed in too much, or maybe it only works on 60? Or 30? I mean, well, terrain was working. Well, we don't need it now. Terrain mode is coming off. We're accelerating at a 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and get our landing lights off. We'll get our wing lights off. Taxi lights coming off. Turn off lights are coming off. This is... You're now free to smoke about the cabin. We'll leave the seatbelt sign on for a little bit longer here. It might just take a while to load it. Positive rate, you might be right. Joe Plains, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Just sprayed the same flight you worked Tuesday at the pad. Oh, no. Got some downtime before the next one, so I thought I'd stop by and let you know. Joe Plains, nice. Why is the APU still on? Because I forgot it on. Joe Plains, nice, man. I'm glad I got to escape. Sorry. I'm glad I got to escape you with no de-ice. Not that that you wouldn't be able to de-ice us well, but I just with that line check, my man. Thanks for stopping by, though. All right, well, pretty much that's good enough for me. I gotta lower the nose a little bit more here. We'll go ahead and engage autopilot 1. All right, there, that should be good. AP1 is on. We'll go back to full screen cam. Get ready to go set standard. We'll just go ahead and do it now. 290902 once, twice, and thrice. That is set. Landing lights extended. Why are they still extended? Oh yeah, 3 position switch. Let's get those in. Let's make sure we're not forgetting anything detrimental. My flight after start, before takeoff, after takeoff. Slats, flaps, landing gear, packs, and altimeters. Here's our cabin that's climbing. We're looking good. Oh, I know what I want to do. I need to use this view to set a hack view here. A little bit better of a view. Oh, that's a good view right there. That's the good view. Let's set that. Enhanced flight, Team Vodka. It actually hand flies really nice with the profile, man. Really nice with this profile you got. Roberto, what's going on? How's the 7.6? Oh man, tell me you were here before I turned off the Throttletek cam. Yeah, dude, Roberto, I love it. I absolutely love the 7.6 throttle. I was like, I know we're waiting for the Bluebird, the 7.5, but man, I love flying with the 7.6 throttle. It's definitely my favorite one. So I can't wait for the 7.5, 7.6 to drop from Bluebird because, Roberto, we're going to take it. We're going to take the 7.5 pretty much all the way around the world. So it'll be getting a lot of use. I actually was just working on a SPAD profile, trying to do some tweaking with it for the PMDG stuff. But I know we need the 7.6 and 7.5 to fly it, but it just, there's something about the design of the 767 Quadrant that it makes you feel like you're flying a big airplane when I'm manipulating these thrust levers. Like the Airbus, the Throttletek, the 320 Flightbox, it's the same size as an Airbus thrust quadrant. So even, like the 330, but it's just the inherent design of Airbus, how the throttles are just, I don't know, they're just smaller, I guess. But man, when you grab even the 737, the 737 is nice, but it's nothing like, it doesn't feel like you're flying a wide body. You touch the 767 Quadrant and it is just big time. It is big time, feels like wide body airplane. It really does. Thrust, yes, this is the Throttletek 767 Quadrant right here. I was using everything, and what's cool about the A300, I know it's for a 7.6, but the A300, with the iniBuilds here, everything is I can bind everything natively, so like the start levers and the flaps and everything. The only reason I'm not using the flap lever right now is because for the A300, I need to set a curve for the flap to be in the proper flap position, so I didn't have time to set that up. But speed brake, everything else works as intended through the sim. Now with the PMDG 777, I do a few things through SPAD, but with SPAD you can get every single thing, like the nose down trim, the alternate stab trim, the cutout switches. I don't know if you can see them. This thing is so big you can't even see them. These cutout switches down here. Can you guys hear that? I mean, it is super tactile. Camera over there, but our stab cutout, you got the covers and then the switches underneath it. So I bound those up in the 777 as well. Nice. 747 Quadrant win. Oh jeez. You know what? They make one. If you want a 7.4 Quadrant for the PMDG 7.4, probably get your order in now. Roberto at Throttletek actually works with, don't you work with PMDG, I believe? Getting things set up, so let's go ahead and make sure we're not getting all out of sorts here. My sounds seem kind of, what if I go external down? Oh, that's nice. I love having the sliders working again. Internal engines, manipulators, passenger, ambient. Environment. We'll turn the environment down a little bit. There we go. We're looking good. BKG Blueface, my man, thank you so much for the 19-month support. How was my last trip? It was great, man. I'll tell you all about it when we get up here to cruise. We need to talk about the 747 for UV1, and yes, we're working closely with PMDG now. Oh, that is awesome. So there you have it. Throttletek working with PMDG. I want to say, oh, we need to upgrade your V3 with the new ARM system. Oh, really? Okay. Roberto, yeah. My man, give me a call. Do I use SPAD with the honeycomb? A Key 6, I don't, but I know there's a handful of you that do. I haven't had to use SPAD with the honeycomb. I probably should. I think you have to use SPAD with the honeycomb for the heading selector in like the FSS stuff. What happened to the MD stream? Josh Federer, I couldn't get the sounds working, and the default sounds just didn't cut it for me, man. There are literally, I don't know if it's because it's not officially supported yet for 2024. I understand that it's just a beta test, really, for Leonardo. But I don't think it's part of the issue. I think it's just how the Leonardo ships with default sounds. There are sounds that are just literally missing. Where things happen and there is no sound, and I'm 99.99% sure there's supposed to be some sort of a sound with the associated switch, or for instance like an APU start or an engine start from the inside is 100% quiet from the back, not from the cockpit, because the cockpit would be quiet, but from sitting next to the engine inside during engine start, 0 sounds. So flaps, 0 sounds. So because of that, I just don't enjoy it, man. I don't enjoy flying an airplane that it's too game breaking for me. But hopefully we get, I know there is a MD-80 high detailed sound pack that's been in development for quite some time. I don't know what the status is on that. It's like supposed to be the ultimate MD-80 sound pack. I wonder what the fidelity of the A350 is. Oh, I know, Jeremy. Well, hey, I can't wait to use the Throttletek on the A350. That'll be the first. Is that the first widebody I've used with the Throttletek? The Airbus ones? No, we've flown the A330. But the A350 looks very interesting, Jeremy. It looks very interesting. Looks pretty darn good. A Boris MD-90 sound set. Oh, Andre, I know, dude. Mad Dog's also getting a proper upgrade, I think, with new art. Yeah, George, that's what Phantom was saying in the Discord. So I welcome that too, because it really needs it. It really needs the upgrades. You can really see its age. Absolutely. Let's come down here and take a look at our prog. What do we got? Writing this down a little bit here. Let's go KMIA. And 36335 is good. Alright, let's juice up this cockpit lighting a little bit, shall we? That looks good. Left, right. Where is it? Oh yeah, down here. Get that up. There we go. Now we got our lights on for later as the sun begins to set here over the Atlantic. Doesn't the MD-90 use V2500s? It does, yes. Steven, I know it feels right, man. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Steven. I think you have the FT Sim sound pack, right? So the FT Sim sound pack with the MD-80 is not bad at all. Speaking of sounds, I wish the 7.2 would work for you. I know, me too, Jeremy. Me too, man. There's a lot of things that they're so close, but they're not there yet in 2024. You know, the 727 is close, not there yet. Leonardo is about halfway there. F28 is allegedly close, but not here yet. There are still X-Plane 11 if you really want to fly a 7.2 like you. I know what flight to live. Ghostus, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. V1, I was on a flight from Las Vegas to Houston, United. I was able to hear the pre-flight between Captain and FO. It took about 15 minutes. Is that typical? I was able to hear the pre-flight. What do you mean, like the pre-flight checklist? He could have had the, I mean, what airplane were you on? A 7.3? I'm sure they could have the, maybe had his intercom on or something. I'm not sure about that, why that would be, why you would be hearing a pre-flight. Or you mean just them pre-flighting up there? Maybe they were hot micing. It's possible. Briefing. Roberto says, we made a 747 classic throttle 12 years ago. We even added a trim, but will be very expensive to remake. Oh, wow. I'm right there with you, Nabil. Fokker 70-100 win. Dave's got a great job on the MD-11 sound set. You almost need active noise canceling Bose headphones now. Really, Cam? Well, Cam, has there been any mention of getting that MD-11 in 2024? Because I saw it had an update. I saw Captain Canada was flying it around for a week, so I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's running well in 2020, but have they mentioned at all if they have plans to drop that in 24? Seawalker, what's up? First time live viewer. Can you explain the landing elevation and how to configure it? Also how to configure, also how to figure the landing elevation. Seawalker, yeah, man, good question. The reason that we care about landing elevation in this airplane particularly, well, in any airplane you care about it, but in this airplane in particular, the landing field elevation is located right here. It's kind of an odd spot for it. A lot of times you'll find it on the overhead. If you're flying an Airbus, like a 320 series, it'll be on the overhead, the controls anyway, but it'll all be automatic. The reason we care about it is because you want to be able to depressurize the airplane on schedule when you descend and when you're climbing too. So, but essentially, you're going to climb up to altitude. It's going to pressurize. You want to know the system needs to know the field elevation to know when it needs to start depressurizing the cabin during the descent. Now, where we find that is on the chart, and there's a couple places that you can look. You can look here. This is our Kingston. This is where we took off. Airport elevation was 18 feet. So right now we're going to Miami. Let's change it. Let's go to airport 10.9 page, and the airport elevation in Miami is 9 feet. So it's basically sea level. Another place you could find it is if you look on the approach chart. This is the most common place I look, really. Localizer 9, when you brief the approach, this is part of your briefing. Right here, boom, touchdown, airport elevation. So 9 feet, 8 feet, call it 10 feet. So this one is basically sea level. But if you're landing high altitude, then you absolutely want to make sure you put the proper field elevation in the pressurization system so it knows when to start depressurizing the cabin on your descent. Oh, there we go. That's a view right there. That's a view. Working in progress. Okay, so they're working on it. Just tuned in. Sorry if you answered this. When is the Dukes Across America? John, I'm going to shoot for tomorrow, hopefully. I think I was going to do one flight where we test some stuff. I might do it later. So I figured out how to use the KNS 80. Like where you move VORs. I've got a whole plan. I wanted to spend some more time in the pre-flight stages of this tour, but I'm just so excited to fly Duke again. We may start tomorrow before the Super Bowl out there in Alaska, so we might kick off tomorrow. Vodka, we might do member-only test flight tonight. You're right, yeah. I got to double-check my KNS 80 nav and just a few fuel flow things, and then we'll be good to go. Super Bowl bad. Yeah, I know. What a terrible day to start Tour Day Americas. Alright, so we're leveling off in cruise here. We're looking good. Let's get it nice and settled in. 34. Let's go seatbelt sign off. You're now free to move about the cabin. We're flying American today, so we need just some smooth jazz. Ride us into the sunset. Man, we might have a night landing here, huh? We might have a night landing here. Let's get everything dialed in sound-wise. Turn you down. Turn you down. Felix, I know some of these clouds look potatoey. They sure do, man. They've got something going on where they don't look great. I agree with you. If you're able to fly to a new airport not in the database, how would they know the field elevation? It's Jeremy. So you can. So in the 320 series, you have fully automatic mode, which is what we do all the time. Then you have a semi-automatic mode where you put in the landing field elevation for that exact reason. I use this. The only time I've ever used manual landing field elevation is when we were ferrying empty planes to park them during COVID. So I ferried an airplane to an airport that was not in the database. So we had to put in the field elevation manually. We actually had to build a runway too, which was kind of interesting doing that in the box. Shortly after that flight, then we had published procedures on how to do it. So the FO and I kind of scrambled it together and figured it out. But that's a semi-automatic mode. Then there's a fully manual mode where you're just in control of the outflow valve, controlling the pressurization of the aircraft completely on your own. So there's 3 different modes, and it runs most of the time in fully automatic mode. John, those Canis 80s are still possible to buy used, $400 on eBay? Jeez. crazy. George, I don't see why you can't. When I say build a runway, so essentially what we did is we built a way. How do you do it? I have to look, man. It's been so long since I've looked in that page. It's in the same page where you store waypoints. So you can store flight plans, store custom waypoints, store custom something else. Essentially, you build the waypoint or the airport reference point. And then if you have the lat longs, which we were supplied the lat longs in the proper format, and then you get a rough idea of where you're going. It's not meant for precision use at all. It's literally just so you can look at something on your ND and not be landing in nothingness. That's the only reason that you'd have it there. Yeah, it's not to be used for precision. Yeah, mess around with it. You're not going to hurt anything. It's in the McDo. What is it? McDo data stored waypoint page, and there should be a whole list of things in there. David says the function is missing. Okay, so never mind. Disregard. Since I'm new as a member here, is a members only stream where we turn on webcam and wear V1 logo robes and smoke cigars and listen to jazz? That sounds pretty dang good to me. No patience for this. I don't know about you. I had a situation for On Air where I had to land in a military field, not in the database. Ooh. Yeah, land VFR, big Cessna. Turn everything off. Hand fly, baby. Hand fly. Oh, hold on. Let's switch playlists on me. We don't want to do that just yet. Although this is a good song, too. I'm going to turn down the external engine volume a little more here. Let's come back here to settings. Let's turn those way down. Oh, yeah. That's kind of a vibe. David Andrews, welcome to Pilot Pod, man, if I didn't mention it. So, my last experience in Miami, so my, it's kind of a long way to, or kind of a hard thing to explain, but essentially, I got locked into a trip out of a different base, and I can't change that trip because I had training on it. So once I was assigned training on that trip, I couldn't switch it. And the problem is, it got back late enough. It got back late in Fort Lauderdale, and since I didn't want to stay the extra day, there were no other flights coming out. I was like, well, I could hop on a flight. There was a 9:30 flight to Dallas out of Miami. So we land in Lauderdale, and I was gonna get the Uber. So I'm walking. I mean, and we landed at 8 o'clock. We landed at 8. The flight leaves Miami at 9:30. So if you've ever been between Fort Lauderdale and Miami, you know it can always be suspect to get between the two if there's traffic. We had a mechanical issue on my line check, so that was the other thing too. So we had mechanical, so I had to write that up. Took a few extra minutes. I think I left the airplane at like 8:10, I think is when I walked off of the airplane. So I walked off the airplane around 8:15 p.m., and I was like, all right, I'm going to try to Uber this to Miami International and get on a flight back to Dallas. Well, the Uber said 15-minute wait. Okay, whatever. So I walk out to where the Ubers are, and then I got assigned a new driver. And I don't know, that hasn't happened to me before really in a while. So I got assigned a new driver. I don't Uber all that much anyway, but like, okay, so I'm waiting. But then when the new driver got assigned, it was like, oh, 17 more minutes. Like, I can't wait here 17 more minutes. So I walk up to the taxi stand, and I was like, and I haven't been on an actual yellow cab taxi since, I can't even tell you the last time I've been on a taxi. Probably like my 21st birthday in New York with my sister. Like, that probably was the last time I rode a taxi cab. So I walk up to the taxi stand. I'm like, how much to Miami Airport? And the guy's looking at me. He's like, let me change this playlist here. He's like, 76 or 67, something like that. And I thought he said 167. So I was like, 167? And he's like, no, 67. I'm like, okay. I was like, how fast can you get me there? And he's like, just put your seatbelt on. So I'm like, all right, I like this guy. So I canceled my Uber. I got in the taxi with this guy. I was like, you take card? He's like, yeah, I take card because I didn't have any cash left after a 5-day trip, tipping all the van drivers and stuff. Hold on. I'll sit this over. So he goes, it's just, yeah, put your seatbelt on. I'm like, all right. Guys, I'm telling you, we left Lauderdale, I think, at 8:27, and I was walking in the doors of Miami International at 8:40, just before 8:50. He put the pedal down and just ripped it. I thought we were going to get a wreck a couple of times, actually. He went through, so I don't know that if you're in Florida, you probably know this. So like on the express lane, there's like those sticks, those plastic sticks to keep you in your lane over there. And we're driving and we get slowed up into kind of like a bog, a traffic jam. So he just yeets it into the other lane through those plastic things. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to close my eyes, because if I keep watching, I'm going to have a heart attack. So at least if my eyes are closed, we die, it'll just be in peace. I don't have to watch it happen. Man, we ripped it all the way down to Miami. I actually got his number or his card in case I have to get another cab. He's like, if you need another one, you use me. So I got his thing. I tipped him good, and I made my flight home just barely. Well, I say just barely. I actually had enough time to go use the lav prior to boarding, which I didn't think I was going to have time. I mean, to go from the gate in Lauderdale to the gate in Miami in less than 50 minutes is pretty good. What type of vehicle was he driving? It was a yellow cab. It was like a SUV style cab, but it was beat up, man. Oh, and the other thing is, so he said he took car because I said I don't have any cash. But the thing was so jacked up, it didn't work. He's like, it's not working. And he was trying to, like, restart his phone or whatever. He's like, Square's like, do you have anything else I could, like, a Venmo you or Zelle? He's like, Zelle, do you have Zelle? So was he on the phone the whole time? No, believe it or not, George, he actually was, he was a 2-footed driver. So constant acceleration, deceleration, constant. So I'm pretty good with motion sickness, but man, there was a couple times where I'm like, damn, this is getting a little aggressive. But he actually had, he had one hand on the steering wheel. The other hand, he was just chilling, talking. We were talking back and forth. Funny dude. But yeah, I got his card. And if I ever have to get another cab in Miami, calling him up. Stop rudder input. Should we be descending? Maybe. Let's see. We're on the... We are on the Vice RNAV, which is always going to be spicy in this thing. Zeus. Let's make Zeus a hard altitude of... now let's make... What do we got? 28 at Mullen. No, it's in the box. I think we're okay right now. I think we're okay. Now we're still 300 miles out. I think we're all right. We're over Havana. We're over Cuba right now. Yeah, that's Cuba. Right? Yeah. Cuba. Was your cab driver an F1 driver by chance? Dude, I don't know, man. He was something. TOD after Mulbin. All right, thank you, Douglas. V1, would you recommend the Throttletek 7.3 or the Blackbird for the Honeycomb? Ooh, Airsoft Messiah. That's a great question, man. It depends on what you're going after, right? It's two different products. The Honeycomb Bravo is a universal quadrant that's going to get the job done. It's good at a lot of things, but it's not particularly amazing at one thing. The 737 Quadrant is great at a 737 Quadrant and other 2-engine jet aircraft because of just the whole, you have the whole quadrant, right? You got the whole range up and down. You got the spoiler. I love the parking brake. Parking brake's probably my favorite part of the 737 Quadrant, which sounds really weird, but it's just fun to have an actual parking brake lever. So two different schools of thought on that there. If you love the 737, then you're not going to go wrong with getting a dedicated 737 Quadrant. You're going to absolutely love it. But if you're just kind of like just feeling out the sim world and you need something that's universal, that's going to be towards the Bravo. And it's also like Dressette was saying, if cost is an issue. So what's your price point, right? Going for the Blackbird levers is going to be $100 or so, maybe a little more with the spoiler and flap pad on. Getting a dedicated Quadrant is going to cost you significantly more than that. So you can't go wrong with either. It just depends on what your goal is as a investor in that piece of hardware. Waiting on the flap speed brake from Blackbird. Oh yeah, Digital Merc. I saw him do some videos on it. Johan, maybe it was XP72. Dude, that's funny you say that. I almost texted him. I was gonna that's the other thing. XP72, is he streaming today? It's Saturday. Or is he on vacation? That man drives like a freaking F1 driver, too. Took me back to the hotel one night. I went over to his house and we tried the VR and everything. We're just talking, going down the highway, and we're doing like 105 miles an hour. It's like, wow. XP is I got him in the back pocket too if I need to get somewhere quick. Seawalker, I tried to auto land DFW 17 center, but it crashed several hundred feet before the runway. Any idea? Oof. I don't know. Hey, Seawalker, it's hard to tell why you'd crash. There's probably a dozen different things that could happen. You'd have to actually have a video of it to see why you crashed. Gustavo, the only way I said F1 is because somebody mentioned F1 up there. Rambo was talking about F1. The F in F1 stands for Florida. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. It glide sloped right into the ground. Well, it's possible, Seawalker, that your glide slope antenna is off like it is in Vegas. And that's a scenery issue. I don't know. I haven't even done it. We need to check Dallas-Fort Worth out again in 2024 because the airport's pretty good in 2024. I'm not completely vibing with these clouds, so I'm being honest with you. They look a little bit... Man, I mean, I guess they're okay, actually. They're not bad. They're not great. That looks amazing, though. Did you say anything about XP72 about his speed? Nah, we were just chilling. It was fine. He's a highly seasoned high-speed driver. And the other thing that's crazy about Florida, y'all are crazy in Florida because you'll be doing 100 down the highway and you're not passing anybody. That's what's crazy about Florida. If you're not doing 100, you're getting passed. In some situations, clouds don't look as good. Yeah, Aaron, I've noticed that too. It's almost like in the real light scattered clouds, that's when they look a little bit, ugh, you know, they look a little bit like X-Plane X-Enviro-ish. I see them clouds in Alabama. They're called cirrocumulus, I believe. Oh, the cirrocumulus, the alto nimbus, cirriform stratic, CI4+. What's up, JJ? How you doing, man? Did I mess with DCS lately? No, Digital Merc. I haven't had time, man. So I did that. That trip was a long 4-day trip, basically 5 days. I didn't get home until, oh, here's the other thing. Get back to Dallas, and to get to my car, my truck, to the crew lot, the Skylink was down both directions. Park Terminal A, I had to go to D. Could not get to my truck. It took an hour to get to my truck after that. I've never been in DFW where the Skylink is out both ways. It gave me PTSD from the plane train in Atlanta. We're going to Miami. What's the Miami playlist? It'd be like Latin, right? Miami Nights. It'll be like a Miami. Sophisticated jazz. What's sophisticated jazz? Cuban music. Ooh. Yeah. Time for Cuban music. I just want to see what sophisticated jazz sounds like. Cuban. Ah, yes. This is the vibe right here. Scarface soundtrack. Explano stratus clouds. I want to see some CBs in the sim. Aaron, we've seen a couple. We've seen a couple real good ones, man. I say as a whole, the clouds are better in 2024 for sure, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it is better. Remember when 2020 came out, though, too? Come on, let's be honest. When 2020 came out, the clouds were really bad. I was giving them a lot of shade. It's like, these are mashed potato clouds. They got much better, but I always wanted them to be what 2024 is. Alto cumulus. Thank you, JJ. Some meteorologist today. I was driving in Germany doing 100 on the Autobahn, and I got overtaken by a Nissan Micra with the grandmother. Nice. Ooh, Miami. Departures online. Man, that's a good view right there, though. Look at those colors. Just past Zeus is when it wants us to start down here. I'll tell you what, let's make our cruise altitude 340. We won't go up any higher. Just make it 34. Recruised at 340, chat. Looking good. Just switch back to 2020 from 24, and the things I missed from 24 are the less orange tint and the clouds. Yeah. Here's the other thing, Nikki. I tried 2020 again before the stream. If anybody thinks that the ground handling is the same between two sims, I don't believe you actually tried the other sim. And I'm not talking about, like, the Fenix is particularly good. It's very similar. I didn't mess too much with the Fenix. I just did a 180 on the ground. But I messed with some other airplanes like the Duke. The Duke on the ground in 2020 handles completely different than the Duke on the ground in 2024. And this is the interesting part. The Duke is not officially compatible with 2024 yet. There has been no update to 2024 for the Duke. So that tells me that there are some core changes in the sim in 2024. Because I was messing around on my home PC in 2020 with the Duke. And I'm like, what is this? We landed the Duke, the last stream, with a 20-knot direct crosswind in Sedona, and we were able to maintain centerline. Now, we were a little wobbly, don't get me wrong, but trust me, you land a Duke in the 20-knot direct crosswind, you're going to be a little wobbly too. But we were fine. It's just that, to me, is a big difference. Big difference. iFly does a good job in 2020. Yes, Digital Merc, you're right. I only flew it a handful of times, but I do remember the iFly being particularly good. Oh, yeah, JJ's right, too. Because 2020, 2 years. I didn't even fly 2020 for the first year. I think we did maybe 2 streams. Y'all remember that? Everyone who says I'm a Microsoft Glazer, the Turk, wherever Turk's at tonight, I didn't fly 2020 for almost 2 years, to be honest with you. So I can't wait to see what 24 looks like in 2 years, JJ. You're absolutely right. Full flap. Do it in the Duke. You own the Dukes, right? Do it in the Dukes. Or your cows thing. I think you're David. That sounds familiar to me. That sounds familiar. But I remember you guys were like, oh, when are you going to fly Microsoft? Fly Microsoft. And everybody wanted to fly Microsoft. I did a Microsoft stream and like the default A320. It had the most views of at the time of my channel I'd ever seen. I'm like, why? I'm over here sweating, doing a 727 VOR Circle Alpha approach in the islands of wherever we were. And that gets a quarter of the views, but I was just having way more fun than flying 2020 on release. But that's what everyone wanted to see. But I held out. And now, now I just don't care. I just fly what I want. What you guys vote for within reason. Sometimes I vote. I alter the votes. But I just have fun in 24. That's what it comes down to. And if you have fun in 2020, then that's what it comes down to. Fly 2020. At the end of the day, man, just fly what makes you happy. P3D, X-Plane 11. Who cares, man? If you're having fun, that's all that matters. One V1 vote is equivalent to 500 viewer votes. It's about right. It's actually 375, Steven, but close. Speaking of P3D full flap, what do you think about loading up Raven 6? Do you have Rainbow Shield? It still works. I saw a YouTube video of a guy that there's still servers. The recoil on that, do you remember I was, after watching that video, I was looking at the, not necessarily the recoil, but like the spread pattern on auto. It actually looks more legit than some of the stuff we see in modern shooters. Even Ron, I think. Ron is okay, but the spread seemed a little bit more accurate. I don't know. I've never fired a fully auto MP5 SD, though. That would be, it's on the bucket list. Mag dump. Full auto MP5 SD. Gotta stop talking about that or we're gonna get demonetized. I dare you to do a stream flying in the FSX. Nuno, can't do the FSX, man. I've thought about it. The only reason I have it, Nuno, is because we have wonderful fans of the channel like Full Flap Sim who've tried it. I think, who was the other guy? The Mickey G, I think, loaded up and took screenshots. There's someone else that's been posting screenshots. So I know that my memory is not correct. Because in my memory, FSX was, 2K, HD, anti-aliasing through the roof. And then I look at the videos, I'm like, come on. I just can't do it. That's a good song, but I can't do the guy talking over me. Modded Reforger? Ooh, interesting. FSX over FS9 was a revolution. I remember buying an 8600 GTX to play it. Yep. Yes. My 2020 looks great now, but took off in a crosswind yesterday. The 737 and the aircraft blew into the wind. Nice. I'm telling you, Thruset. You gotta come to the dark side, Thruset. Come to the dark side, my friend. Look at these sky colors. Come on. Actually looks better from the window view. I mean, that is... I've started paying more attention to the so-called blue hour after 2024. Because, like, man, what is... I never even heard of that term before. But it's absolutely right. It's what it looks like. Looks great. Dun dun dun. Flight makes you happy unless it's a X-Plane 11. Well, to be honest with you, next to you, X-Plane 11, I look back at my older streams when I was in peak X-Plane 11 mode with the mods. We had a mod for, like the sky colors. I can't remember what it was called. It's like you would download a file. When I had that file, it's like the unrestricted visibility file, the water luas. When I was in peak X-Plane 11, I honestly can't really tell the difference between that and 12. Now, without the mods, you definitely can see. Yeah, a script for waves. That's right. You're right. Am I getting the FlightFX Piaggio Mayday? You know what? I would love to try it out, but it's not in 24 yet. So when it drops in 24, I might try it out for the sole purpose of I want to fly something with a good Proline 21 system. When is Barry Seals running another op, or did he get busted? It's been too long, sir. Hey, you know what? I almost did that tonight. Almost did that tonight. We'll be running a Barry Seal op here pretty soon. Big N Video stole your GPU to save the rest. I know it, AJ. Thanks for the $3 super chat. That's so, AJ. My XTX UPS said it was going to be delivered on Wednesday, then Thursday, then Friday. Now it's Monday. I have a feeling a UPS driver is enjoying my 24 gigabyte of VRAM somewhere in Fort Worth. Supposed to come Monday. We'll see. George, oh, I'm right there with you, man. Getting rid of the ortho was huge for me. Huge for me. And another reason for that too is I don't stream from home, y'all. So if you're unfamiliar, I turn the brightness down on this sucker here. So I don't stream from home, and when I come into the office to make content for y'all, I have to be extremely efficient with my time, because it's time away from my family, it's time away from the house, it's time away. At one stream, there's like at least 2 hours of additional fluff that I gotta get through just because I do everything from a remote location. So not having to manage scenery before doing a live stream was huge. That was the biggest play for me coming over to Microsoft. That was a huge time saver. The blue hour happens approximately 20 to 96 minutes right after sunset. It's when red light passes through space while blue light scatters in the atmosphere. Very cool, Skyfall. Inatical, I would have loved to get a 5090. I tried. We tried hard. Didn't work out. Our order was canceled because they said that we were a reseller. So, which it's ironic because we were not. But, and they probably sold that order to a reseller. So go figure. But no, I wish I had a 5090. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground, and we're going to try. We're still trying. We haven't given up. But I do have a 40, what is it, XTX. I bought an XTX before they all went out of stock. Trying to get my displays dimmed down here. I bought an XTX with 24 gigabytes of VRAM. It's just on its way. FlightFX have an ERJ 145 coming soon. Yeah, come on. Soon? Since when is soon from them? Doubt it. But yeah, I would love to have a 145. Now, I also, Logo Lights, FlightFX, they're supposed to be, they're making a Citation 10, right? I'm super hyped about that. I want to see that 10. How's the premium 300 feel in 24 v1? JJ, I'll be honest with you, man. It feels pretty dang good. Ask me after we land in Miami. I've had problems with this airplane in Miami. I don't know if it's just Miami Airport is being hardcore on the performance. The last time I tried to stream the premium, I Alt F4'd it. But today it's been great, knock on wood. We've had zero issues. I love the hand flying. The sounds are pretty darn good. We'll see. Ask me again in Miami. How much fishing gear could you buy for the cost of a 5090, though? Got to pick your battles. 2. I could buy 2 rod and reels. Each combo of mine is about $1,000. So. Plus, the benefit for me, Lauren, is it's actually a write-off, too. Because I use it for business. The 5090 alone costs as much as my iPhone machine with a 3090 in it. I know. Well, now, well, the scalper prices are insane. That's what's crazy. Oh, yeah. Wanfra, a 4090 would be totally fine. A 4090 would be the way to go right now. I don't think going from a 4090 to a 5090 would be worth it. The only reason I was going for a 5090 is because I built this PC with hopes of a 5090, so I didn't spend the money on a 4090. I put a 4080 Super in there as a placeholder to get a 5090. But since I couldn't get a 5090, I still need that 24 gigabytes of VRAM. That's crucial. Is the Asus Tough Gaming any good? JJ, 16 gigabytes of RAM though, man. That's not enough, man. You need... I firmly believe if you want to have any type of future-proofing, I use the term future-proofing lightly, I think you would be so much happier getting a card with more than 16 gigs of RAM. Especially if you're in 2K. Let's get one more song here that's good. Slow it down a little bit. My 2060 is still fine. Oh yeah, it's fine. It just depends on what you're after. 4090 running good in both sims. PC reviewers are saying if you have 40 series, don't upgrade because it's not all that worth it. 4080 may be an exception. Yeah, I mean, so here's you got to keep in mind too is I stream, right? So I need all the VRAM I can get because I use VRAM for other things, not just the sim. I run 2K. I run multiple monitors. I stream, so I need the juice. Plus, you guys want to see sharp images, right? You don't want to see me running medium. I run mostly everything on ultra or as high as I can get it. And run it smoothly. Cries with 8 gigabytes. Well, here's the thing, and the biggest difference, Spurious Pajo, is what are you viewing in? If you're 1080p, that's fine. But if you're in the 2K, 4K multiple monitor range, then it's going to exponentially pick up. 1080p, you're fine. You should stream in 360. As a joke, Steven, do you remember when I had to stream in 360? I would literally stream in 720p and it would come across as like 480 by whatever. Zach, what do you, Zach, what's your favorite? Piston Duke? Turbine Duke? Have you had a change of heart or are you still rocking the piston? We got to start thinking about descending here pretty soon. Actually, let's start thinking about it right now. As soon as this song ends, we got to go back to work. What's up, V1? Presume we're talking about the 7900 XTX. Been running the S79 for more than a year. No VRAM. Nice. What did I get? What did I even? I don't even remember which one I got. Piston. I like the turbine. Still learning though. Yeah, I'm with you, Zach. And that's what's so crazy is PT6 is my absolute favorite of all time. This looks like FSX clouds right here. Are you serious? Look at this. Does this not look like FSX clouds in the background? These high-level ones. That's crazy. That is straight out of FSX. These clouds down here look good. But those high-level clouds look like FSX. Wow, that's wild. What I was saying, though, Zach, is I love that Piston Duke, man. I really, really love that Piston Duke. It's got a special spot. All right. What do we got going on here? We need to start down. That's at or above, at or above. Is there a night mode in this? Night mode. There you go. Please work. Thank you. iniBuilds Premium. Bottom altitude, 5,000 feet. Let's go ahead and set 5,000. We're going to turn the lights down. 5,000 is blue. And we push it. No. Profile, descent, down we go. Let's turn down the map light. No. Turn those up. Let's turn those off. Ooh. Ooh. I'm trying to get a nice cozy setup in here. Cozy lights on. Where's the overhead lights? Are those? Yeah. Cozy lights on. Let's get our sounds back up. External engines we'll leave down. Run these up a little bit. Alright, that looks good. That sounds better. Alright, Navigraph. Miami ATIS. Arrival information. Foxtrot. Arrivals ILS 8 right. 9er. Runway 12. Landing distance runway 9. Hold short 12. 8100. Hold short. If unable, hold short. We'll advise. We're not going to do a lasso. Let's take a look at the approach for 9. Actually, airport 10-9 page. Yeah, runway 9. Land and hold short of what? Runway 12. Oh, yeah, we can accept that. Yeah, we can accept that. We are able. Land and hold short of 12. Let's see. Approaches. Runway 9. We got to dial this in, too. 110.9 and 092. So 110.9, 092 on the course. Default Bonanza, 50 knot direct crossing, still drifts in the wind, decrabbing in 2024. Fake news. Try the Duke. Okay, full flap, but can you even do it in 2020? Try doing it in 2020. Alright, so we're a little bit above profile, but we actually started down early. 1,000 foot per minute, that's fine. 110.9092. 110.9092 is set up. Let's go to the takeoff approach phase. MDA for 09 is going to be 208. 208. We're going to do 30-40 for cinematic juice. Wind correction, 110 at 9. We don't need any additional winds. VAP 143. That looks good. 143 is set. LS buttons are on. DH is 200. We'll set all the things. What did we say it was? It was 208 on this one. Alright, I've got 15 different minimum bugs are set, so we're looking good. In 2020, it does the same thing, drifts the wrong way when you remove the crab, but 2020-24 boot did the same thing when you try and flare/slip. Fake news. That, to me, sounds like a skill issue. Also, who tries the default Bonanza? Will you just try a real airplane? Do a real airplane. You own the Dukes, so do the Duke. Expose big stream. Use the Duke, because the Duke is designed for both. Is designed for 2020 only, not for 2024. Do the Duke. I'll watch a comparison stream. I'll watch a comparison stream live. We'll watch it from our in-flight entertainment booth here on the 300. But I want to see a turbine Duke or piston Duke with crosswinds in both. And also, actually, while you're at it, full flap, try a takeoff. Can you even maintain center line? Try maintaining center line in 2020. Oh, that's the other thing, too. Yeah, bindings and stuff Chris was talking about. I can't maintain center line in real life. Well. funny. V1 first live stream. I'm watching you in a while. Where are your thoughts on the upcoming A350, CO350, C750, and Embraer 145? Well, I've just been informed about the E145. I have no idea about it. Never even seen a photo of it. I would be excited to have a 145 in the sim if it's good. Excited about all the citations. I'm more excited about the A350. What I really want to see with the 350 is I want to see an improvement in the quality of the airplane from the A300 premium, because I just want to see like better optimization, stability. Stability is a big one. I've already had a WASM crash in this airplane in 2024, and if you're going to be flying long haul in a 350 all the time, you got to have stability. So I really want to see stability in that A350. And I would like to, I haven't heard any of the sounds yet. I want there to be good sounds, because I've said it before, iniBuilds seems to be consistent at producing inconsistent sounds. The A300, in my opinion, this one right now, the A300 Premium in 2024, has good sounds. I like them through and through. I really don't have any complaints. I like that I can manipulate them all. I've got the different sliders for exterior. I love that. The A300 in 2020 came out with good sounds, got updated, got bad sounds, got updated, got medium sounds, was kind of forgot about, and the sounds just kind of went off into the cloud. So from that aspect, I feel like the sounds have been a little inconsistent. So I hope to have nice, consistent, good sounds in the 350. What is a WASM crash? It's, instrument crash. So basically, I don't know the science behind it, but what happens is basically everything freezes. So like if we had a WASM crash right now, everything would stop. The altimeter needle might still move, but everything else would be frozen in its place. Thrust levers wouldn't move, nothing would move, but the sounds will still be there, so you'll think you're still flying. What the heck happened over here? We just had an ND failure. But yeah, you won't know you have a WASM crash until it's too late. We just had a ND failure. Or did I turn it off on accident? Oh, I turned it off on accident. I accidentally turned his ND off. Alright, disregard. Alright, let's keep an eye on where we're at here. We are 21.8, at or above, and 280, so we're looking good as far as the speeds are concerned. Felix is just me. You can have pizza on the back of the Piaggio, worth the price of admission. That does sound nice. You should look at the video from the stream. The takeoff and landing sounds are pretty nice, but still work in progress. Yeah, Aaron, I'm gonna look at it. I haven't had time to. I picked up a trip for yesterday for last night, and then I tried to get rid of it at last minute because I wanted to play some more Ron with Wingnut, but then he said he didn't want to play with me anymore, so then I just went to work. I didn't get back till 1 o'clock in the morning because we had a bunch of issues in Atlanta. Go figure. And I even texted my wife. I was like, "Hey, I've been on the ground for an hour in Atlanta. I'm not going to be home till late. Don't shoot me when I come home," and unlock the door because I left my key. And then she texts me. She's like, "Well, you should know by now that there's no such thing as an easy turn when you pick it up." I'm like, "Yeah, just rub that salt in the wound there." This V1 rubbing the salt in. Yeah. Whenever I pick up a turn thinking it'll just be an easy turn. Never. No. On paper, it might be an easy turn. Land and back. No big deal. Don't mind the hour and 20 minutes on the ground waiting for a gate because your gate's occupied because it's broken, there's maintenance, and then the other guy's break. So get this. So there was a flight that was delayed for like 4 hours because they kept having interference in the cabin when the main cabin door was closed. They were hearing interference on the PA system, so it was blasting through the PA, and they could not figure it out. 4.5 hours this airplane sat on the ground. Okay. After chasing squirrels around, they determined that when the door was shut, it was pressing on the megaphone transmit button on the flight attendant station. I believe it's up there at door one left. They have the megaphone, and I guess the way the megaphone was set in the place, it just was just off a hair. So every time the door shut, the transmit was being placed on the on the megaphone. 5-hour delay. Go figure. As the passenger, I would absolutely rage at that. George, trust me, I know the crew. They were raging. They were raging on ops the whole night. And it turned out to be my buddy, so I texted him. I'm like, hey man, I'm sitting at the gate next to you. What's the rage about? Because he's like, I'm on the phone with a chief pilot. It's just a wild night. We got a Miami ping, contact on 1945, and then we've got a massive super chat. Let me get that here in just 1 second. Charlie Xavier, a $50 bomb, my man. I appreciate you. Let me check in with Miami here with information Foxtrot, and I'll read that out. Miami Center, good evening. American 357 Heavy 20 descending via the Vice 2 with information Foxtrot.
American 357 Heavy Miami approach squawk 0027 Miami altimeter 3014.
Squawk 0027 3014 on the meter. American 357.
American 15045 miles.
Charlie, appreciate you. If you want to hope your line check went well, I've been watching your channel for years and I've learned so much. I'm in the process of building a PC. I was wondering if you had any suggestions on solid quality aircraft to fly. Charlie Xavier, thank you so much, man, for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. Quality aircraft. Line check went well, by the way. It was good. It's really easy. We did have a slight mechanical. Everything was fine, though. Did a reset. And didn't work, so which is one of rare. Did a reset, didn't work, but as far as the line check went, we fooled them for another 6 months, Charlie. So we're good to go for 6 more months here. But quality aircraft. Well, what sim? Who's that for? It depends on what sim you're flying in, man. If you're in 2020. All the PMDG airplanes are super solid. The Fenix is super solid. My opinion, the Dukes are solid for piston and turbine. Light GA. Any of the Just Flight aircraft are solid. So those are my bread and butters for 2020. Fenix, PMDG, Just Flight. Black Square. You buy any airplane from those devs in Microsoft 2020, you're not going to have any issues, man. I love all of those airplanes from all of those devs. All right, out of 18, Magic Barrel Ref 3014 set, manual brakes. We're doing full flaps, reverse as required. So briefing is complete, descending into Miami. Now expect ILS 9, American 327. A28 is another one that everyone likes to talk about. Stressset mentioned. I haven't flown the A28 Comanche in a long time, so but I would agree that that's also a really high quality add-on. Wanfra says, I think simmers are too spoiled. We never had it good in all flights in history on both software and hardware, and too many people are still complaining. Oh, Wanfra, I mean, definitely. If you go back to what assume, like the older generation of flight simmers, anybody that was hardcore into simming from, let's just call it FS 2000 and up, prior to FSA, even like if you saw what happened with flight sim from 2000, 2002, 2004, and then FSX, if you live through that and sim through that, then you 100% are in the same thing. It's like, man, you cannot believe what we actually get to fly now. It's crazy. I mean, look at this. Look, I'm going to show a video of, I think I posted it. It's like a video of a 7.5, quality wings, FSX, all the add-ons. And I used to think it was so realistic looking. And I look back and I'm like, wow, we are absolutely just spoiled on what we get now.
Miami approach, good day, American
Jays,
1400.
Flex checking on with 12 by 5 on the audio.
17,000.
American 1400 Miami approach, Miami altimeter.
Those people never played FS98. It shows. Amen to that, Andy B.
450630.
Tried flight sims from the 80s and 90s with the joysticks. Yeah. Well, here's one from. So, I remember the Microsoft Sidewinder from like like 2000 was epic. And then I had there was another side stick I had early on that I loved. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. It's crazy. My first sim came on floppies. Digital Merc might have us all beat.
We have the Foxtrot from Miami requesting.
Pete Ski. That sounds like Slustavo checking in behind us.
Miami, American 1400. Could you repeat the score, please?
Go figure. Flix and Gustavo stepping all over each other on the radios. V1 stream with an L10, top of my wish list. Pete Ski, my man. Hey, that's on the top of my wish list too, dude. Thank you so much for a massive $20 super chat, my man. Really appreciate you. Absolutely, though. When the L10 drops, I don't know what I'm sure it's early development stage. I think it's probably going to be another year at least. Hopefully, I could be wrong, but I know all the hype right now on INI is for their 350. I've been working on it for a while, but L1011 will be the juice for me. Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. Yep. Paw ski merges. Yep. Project Open Sky, Mr. Saturday. Mr. Sat, dude, I wanted to watch I wanted to show that video that you did, that flying into New Zealand, right?
Miami,
So
American
epic.
1400. Is it possible to request one? Now you want to.
No.
American 1400, sure, you can expect that maintain.
I'm about to be 40, but honestly, back in our day, we had
Hope
pixels
that
to fly
maintain
around. You just never
125,000,
understand if you didn't have it.
right?
Yeah. You never understand, Andy, and I'm right there with you, man. I didn't necessarily fly the pixel sims, but I started on 98. I call 98 my first sim. I was a wee young lad at that age, but I remember it well enough to remember I think that's what imprinted on my mind. That cover of the FS98 box imprinted on my mind. I said I want to be a corporate pilot. That was my goal. I didn't even want to fly airlines until I met my wife, because I wanted to marry her. And I said, if I don't fly airlines, I keep flying corporate, I'm probably not going to be able to marry her. That's the only thing that changed.
070, maintain 2000, snapshot localizer, clear for the ILS 10 left, Delta 2321.
I started in 95. I had FS95 next to you, but I don't really remember it that much. I remember 98 a lot. I remember playing 98 and showing my dad things on FS98. Meigs Field in 95. Okay, yeah. Didn't they all start quick flight at Meigs Field, though? I thought in quick flight you always started at Meigs. All right, there's 10,000 feet. Lights are coming on. We'll turn them on because I don't want to deal with it later on. No smoking's coming on. Seatbelt signs are coming on.
Engrad above 2,000, clear LS 97 up until.
Rings 478, leave my space in the northwest, Miami sent out flying with SM7.
Now keep in mind, I have my T-Lod turned way down on this. I think I've turned it down to 180.
478, sorry about that.
Tsunami alerts, warnings, warning for all coastlines along the Caribbean after a massive 8.0 earthquake. Oh no, that's not good. Just reported. Well, if you're in the Caribbean, look out.
Going 1337, turn right heading
Simviation. I do remember, Jeremy. I remember it well.
Delta 2321, the wind 100 at 8.
I've got roughly 18,000 hours of Microsoft FSX. Played all that time as a kid. I've thought about reviving the addiction and getting set up for 2024. Hey, Strong Tank.
Wait for PDC.
I highly recommend that you do that, my friend.
21 Miami.
Who's he calling? Oh, look at the light. Look at this Strong. Look at we got the light glow. Look at the haze. The reflection of the strobes. Do it.
The wind 100 at 8, runway 10 left, clear there.
Get 2024. You will enjoy it. I promise you. Relive it. There's something about this series that's got me re-juiced up, you know.
American 357 heavy, descend and maintain 3000.
Descend and maintain 3000, American 357 heavy. All right, he gave us straight to 3, so what we're going to do, we're going to set 3, level change, 250, selected. Down we go.
Give me a second, please.
Retard speed, here we go.
American 5, Charlie minus 6 to the northwest, Miami, send off line with a service 7913, should rise over there.
An 8-0, that's big time, man. Yeah, pray for those people, absolutely. Where did that southwest of Georgetown, Cayman Islands? Wow, JJ, that's not good.
American 1504, taxi by Tango.
Yep, 7.5. I flew the 7.5 the most when the Quality Wing 7.5 came out, because I tried flying, what was it, the Captain Sim 7.5 Captain pack or something, right? But I always had performance issues with that airplane. So then when Quality Wings dropped their 7.5, I always wanted to fly US Airways 757, and it just never transpired. That became my second dream.
707, turn right to 8360. Going 1337, wind 10 at 9 and runway 9 at Quadrant.
USGS, Rich, 76 quake, 209 kilometers south-southwest of Georgetown.
Plane 340, descend and maintain 8,000 American 1400.
That's not good at all.
EPS 1320 heavy, runway 8 right, taxi by Kilo 1, cross A left at Kilo 1.
Cayman Islands. 7.6 is still heavy, man.
EPS 1320 heavy, runway 8 left, taxi by Kilo. November 200, Mike Mango, fly runway heading runway.
Nikki, same here. That's what I said. I wanted to fly it so bad, but it just always had perf issues.
Miami approach, hello, American 7122, we are reporting from Flightbox 240, we are inbound to Jesus.
Get flight recorder ready here.
Okay, 7122, roger. Aspect 707, 3 miles from Blame, flighting 070. Maintain 3000 until established on the localizer clear for the ILS on a 10.
Let's go to gate D30. Oh, I probably don't gonna be able to find it. Oh no, my flight recorder crashed. Uh-oh. Oh, don't crash my sim.
American 7122, radar current like 56 miles south, east of the Miami airport, descend by device to arrival, expect the ILS runway 9 airport.
Flight recorder's up and running.
The Miami altimeter 3014.
I don't know why it crashed initially on me there.
Could you repeat the altitude, please?
1,000 to level off.
American 7122, descend via device to arrival.
Yeah, look at the, that's exactly what this is. It's a reflection bug. Oh, that's hard to look at.
American 1400, descend and maintain 3000.
E145 field wear, I remember those. Yep.
1400.
American 357 heavy, right turn.
Current Bluebird is going to be making a 7.8 and a 7.6. Was that for us?
American 357 heavy, right turn 360, vector bottom.
Right turn 360, American 357. All right, heading select. 360.
Delta 104 Alpha, descend and maintain 4000.
Let's drop back to 210 here on the
Delta
speed.
104 Alpha.
Ooh, Delta 104 Alpha. Sounds like a Air Canada 104. Anybody remember Air Canada 104? Can we get a moment of silence for Air Canada 104 going into Denver approach?
MS-12 Hotel Super Miami departure, push at your discretion.
Thank you.
Click 8 right, call for taxi with the weather. Expect 707, wind 10 at 8, runway 10 right, clear to land.
No, I can land.
Slots
Number
15.
177 Alpha Hotel, wind 10 at 8, runway 9 at clear to land.
From an air, clear to land, the 7 Alpha Hotel.
American 357, 3 miles from Grits, flighting 060, maintain 3000 until established on the localizer cleared, Alice runway 9 air approach.
0603 7 clear to Iceland Airport approach, or American 357. All right,
American 1400,
3000 060
Heading
land,
300,
glide slow
1400.
blue, low blue,
Converted to 60,
command 2,
runway 8 right, click
cat
3000.
3, speed 180,
November 200, Mike Tango, you were instructed to fly runway heading, sir.
Flaps
Your radar
15.
transect clear. Alright, November 200, Mike Tango, maintain VF4 at or below 3,500.
Localizer live, Lokestar. Missed approach altitude be 3,000.
UBS 1320, holding short, runway hit.
UBS 1320 heavy. Traffic is Airbus 380 departing the parallel RNAV jump. RNAV seesaw, runway left with big off.
RNAV seesaw, for check on runway,
Runway, landing. Glide slope star going altitude set 3,000.
American 357 heavy, wind 10 at 9 runway 90 km.
Runway 9 clear to land, American 327 heavy. All right, we are clear to land 180. We're 1515 on the flaps. VAP is going to be 143. Let's hand fly. Recording's coming up. Throttletek cam's coming on.
1337. Taxi by Victor.
143 is the speed we need to bug. Autopilot is off. I have control. Recording is recording.
And departure Freight Dog 1602.
Freight Dog? What, whose call sign is Freight Dog?
Center American, 04 on the block. See ya.
Yeah.
Whose call sign is Freight Dog? Because I want to fly that. 143. Gear down. Spoilers arm. Let's take control. I have thrust levers. No, I don't. Don't have them bound.
American 1400, 10 left heading 1.
Auto thrust off.
80.
Left 180, American 1400.
Delta 104 Alpha, right turn heading 360, to maintain 3000.
360 to 3000, Delta 104 Alpha.
Understand about that aircraft that was calling at Foxtrot where?
Man, I tell you what, the
Foxtrot 9er here at
that shadow thing on the cockpit is very difficult to look past.
And what's your request?
We are ready to taxi.
All right, flaps 30, 40.
Red 05 runway 9er taxi by
Gear down, no auto brakes. 143, manual thrust.
okay, taxi by a Foxtrot.
Oh, I love the 7.6 Quadrant. It's so much fun. I might just start using the 7.6 and everything else. It's not an Airbus.
Yeah, with herein for the request taxi to
143 seems a little
Delta
aggressive.
104 Alpha. Currently 4 miles from grid sliding.
143. Last night coming into DFW, ground speed mini had us at 158. 35 knot direct headwind.
ILS, the first Delta 104, 3000, should establish on the localizer.
143 seems a little bit fast for this weight, but
Right, 060.
see, she seems happy, like I'm in a notch right here at 140. Let's give it a little more juice and see if we can't get up to 143.
Red, 5 miles from Vesco, flighting 150, maintain 3000, quit out 21 to approach.
Heading 150, maintain 3000 till established, clear the ILS 12 American 1400.
Yeah, see, I don't like that.
I
don't like that pitch angle at 143. Let's knock it in. I think our weights might be a little bit off.
UPS 1328, radar contact, climb maintain 16,000 altitude.
Oh no, I'm choking. Swallowed wrong. Inside of 1,000, stable, clear to land.
Miami departure, company 4 Foxtrot with Sierra on board. Press taxi, right. Sorry, 4 Foxtrot, every Miami departure, runway right, taxi via Victor, Quebec. Quebec on right, 4 Foxtrot 30. I'm right to 12 Hotel Super US, also call for taxi. Spec 707, taxi via Joliet Hotel 4 Lima to the ramp.
Whoa, what happened there? A big sink?
Right, 12 Hotel Super, runway air right, taxi via Victor, Quebec.
And departure Freight Dog 1602, heavy ready for push.
One at a time, guys, please. I'm at 12 Hotel Super, runway 8 right, taxi via Victor, Quebec. Delta 104 Alpha, wind 1 at 9 runway 9 Quebec. Delta 104 Alpha, wind 10 at 9 runway 9 clear to land.
Victor 9, we have the runway side, Delta 104
American 1400, wind
how
10,
do I
get 9
unstow
runway
that?
12, clear left.
12 clear to land American 1400.
American 357, taxi via Tango, Victor, hold short of runway 12.
Tango Victor, hold short 12, American 357. I got reverser stuck out.
Radar 1601, heavy push on to Kilo face west.
I must have a conflicting
Radar
binding.
1601, heavy push on to Kilo face west. Radar 1602, heavy, are you also called to push?
Yes, sir, we are.
Push on on Kilo face west.
Kilo facing west at 1602 heavy.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're all over the place. I can't get that reverser out.
MS-10 Hotel Super, runway 8 right, taxi
That's
via
not
Victor,
good.
Pushback.
Alright, we'll stow the speed brake. Flaps are coming up. I'll tell you what. Let's get the APU
Okay,
spooling.
fly 30, 26 Miami approach, Miami altimeter 3014, expect ILS 12.
We're gonna have to kill that.
Roger.
We got a stuck
American
reverser.
656 passing 1800. Requesting out approach runway 1.
Airport
Okay,
10-9.
656 Miami approach, Miami altimeter 3014, expect ILS 12.
Expect the ILS
Oh,
runway
are we supposed to
12.
turn on Victor? Yeah.
Roger, today. America 71, footing to the maintain 3000.
Oh no.
We
Now
don't
I've got.
maintain 3000 American 7120.
Why do I have? Okay. Something is.
PS 1320 heavy, I'm just waiting for the handout.
I'm gonna disconnect. I gotta disconnect. I've got a binding conflicted here. I cannot get out of reverse. There. It was my Bravo. Go figure. My Bravo. So I had my prop levers in feather up here. I had my prop levers in feather, and I guess when I triggered the reverse, it like something happened. That's, see, 90% of issues are binding issues, conflicting binding issues. That's all right. We still got the recording down. I'm sorry I had a disconnect, guys. I didn't want to just be stopped there on that guy's taxiway the whole way back to the ramp, so didn't get to catch y'all's landings, but I know Stustavo's going to be slewing it in anyway. We'll see how that landing was. Here's my prediction on the landing. We'll cross 1230 here. I was running out of room to float it for butter, so I set it down. I think it's pretty chunky. I don't think it wasn't hard, but it wasn't a butter. It was kind of chunky, but by design, because I ran out of juice, ran out of run touchdown zone, a little bit too much float. We'll roll into the gate here, and then we will go right into replay mode because I don't even care about shutting it down or looking at this Terminal Day Miami hotel. So hell, I don't even want to park this thing because it just looks so bad there by default. I understand having default airports, but daggum adobo, who was the guy that thought this would be a good idea? Alright, replay's up. Hopefully we get both engines back. I just turned it back on. It might have been too late. I think I was too late. Let me try again. We stop, we go replay again. I bet I can re-crank it. Let's restart it. Scenery gateway can't come soon enough. I'm with you. Let's go back to full screen cam, or actually we'll go to replay cam. Get this engine started here. I got all right. So hey, A300 though did good today. We'll watch the first one at night mode. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's wind it back. We'll watch the last one at night in real, quote unquote, real time night. So this was the 7th at this time. Go back to a semi-blue hour to watch the landing. Engine 1 up and operational, maybe? Yep, engines are back to operational. Flaps are coming in. Here we go. I flew to my house in 2024. It looks like everything melted, then refroze. I'm starting my journey to the airlines. I was wondering how you decided what aircraft you want to fly. Wolf, don't even think about that, man. What aircraft you fly is not even going to be part of the conversation, man. You're going to want, if you're going into the airlines, you got to go into it with the mentality of I'm going to fly with whatever airline hires me first. And then if I get hired from another airline that has an airplane I want to fly, then go ahead and make the decision. But you don't want to go into it, oh, I only want to fly to this airplane to fly, or this airline because they have this airplane. That's not a good way to go into it, man. At the end of the day, and this is something that I think every line guy will agree to an extent, okay? In modern jets, A320 series, 737 series, excluding the 75 that still flies for United and Delta in the USA. Honestly, guys, it's the same thing, different paint jobs, different size airplane, different style of trips. That's really it. We're all doing the same job. We got a different paint job outside, and some other pilots' airplanes are bigger than others, and that's just how it is. It's the same thing. So don't go into it thinking, oh, I gotta go here just to fly this. Go do your job, get your ratings, get qualified, and then if you have the luxury to choose, then man, by all means, go where you want to go. But don't pigeonhole yourself out of the gate. Some have tray tables and some don't. That's the truth there, Romulus. You hear that, full flap? Except some have tray tables. I wonder if our reversers are all going to be jacked up here in replay mode. We'll see. So let's watch it from cockpit view. I want to analyze this here from the nose. Well, actually, we'll do it from the seat here.
100.
So I kept the power in a little too long, I think.
50. 30.
See, right there, I should have been a little bit faster. I kind of lagged it in.
10.
I was like, hold it off for butter, and then I'm like, nah, just set it down. See, I just set it down. I was approaching the last stripes. That was a chunky. I'd call it a 250 plus, probably. We'll see what it looks like. Let's wind it back a little bit. I'm going to say it'd be somewhere in the 250 range. More flare. More flare for butter. Oh! I don't know. Let's launch G's. Let's launch G's. G's will be determined. That actually looks smoother than I thought. Let's launch G's for a definitive answer. Almost bang on center line. Hair crabbed. Ah, 239 from G's. Oh, you can't see. Hold on. How do I make you see it? How do I make you see G's? Oh, here we go. 239. That's about right. It looked a little smoother, but the thing is, I should have held it just another second, just another flare. Almost an absolute greaser. Almost a greaser. But I agree with the conclusion around that 250 mark. Let's watch it one more time. We'll get real close. See right there, just a hair more. I just let it set. At 252, what'd I tell you? Just let it settle, because I got scared. Here, I'll do some big stream magic. We'll go half speed on the replay. Watch this. This is going to look like butter. Half speed. Right there. Just another iota of back pressure, and you're going to roll that sucker on. That's a 228. So, yeah. Just almost beautiful full flap. Almost. Look at those flaps. That full flap is just so... I mean, full flap's one to talk. He always lands in flap 15 anyway. All right, full screen cam. Sails coming on. Let's go back to nighttime. Enjoy the night approach. We're going to wrap this one up here like so. Replay. Stop and play. Replay's on. Sounds are coming up. I'm out of here. Tomorrow, chat, I think we will blast off the Tour de Americas, Piston Duke, leaving from Alaska to Alaska. We're gonna check the weather. We're gonna try to do about 2 flights a month on the Americas tour, because each stream is gonna be about, I want to say it's about a 2-hour flight in the Duke, maybe a little less, probably a 2.5-hour stream, close to 3-hour stream, about an 1.5 to 2-hour flight in the Piston Duke. We're gonna try to do 2 of them a month. We'll kick it off on Super Bowl Sunday. I can't wait. I hope to see you there. I will schedule it tonight when I confirm with the wife what our plans are tomorrow time-wise. If you want to fly along the tour, I highly encourage it. I will be opening up the Discord tonight. I have a separate section for Tour de Americas, and you'll be able to see that tonight with the first 4 routes published, and we'll have all of our separate media, all of our separate things in that section of the Discord. So it'll be fun. JJ, thank you so much, man, for a $5 super chat right before I sign off in real world. Is it true anything 300 to 500 is normal? I heard that from several IRL. 300 to 500 what? Feet per minute? That seems aggressive. My landings, I've been keeping track of them. I've been printing them off and showing to you in the Discord. My landings are anywhere between 30 and 130 foot per minute. All right. But I like to grease them in real life. So, but don't worry, I've had my fair share of smashers too. I'd say anything over 300 is you're going to start to feel it. You're going to start to feel it at 300. FO had a 275 last night. Yeah, it was firm. It was firm. 275 is firm. But it's not hard. It's just like, okay, we just landed, you know. At 300, I think you're not going to want to say goodbye to the passengers, if you know what I'm saying. And then just ask Fly Navy what it's like to do a 700. So, all right. I'm out of here. Y'all stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. Thanks for the support. Catch you on the next one.